Imagine this. You're in the middle of life's chaos, deadlines piling up, news cycles swirling, a relationship getting tense. But instead of panicking, you're steady, like a quiet harbor in the middle of a storm. That's not magic, that's judgment, that's emotional resilience, that's Stoicism. And in this video, inspired by the 10 timeless principles of Stoic philosophy, you'll learn how to build an inner world so grounded, so steady, that no chaos outside can shake it. Let's start with a question. Why do we feel so overwhelmed by things that are outside our control? Epictetus, a slave-turned-philosopher, said it best. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. It sounds simple, but most of us live like everything is up to us. Traffic jams, other people's moods, the job we didn't get. We chase peace in things that don't belong to us, and we lose sleep over things we were never meant to control. Here's the truth. Your inner peace starts where your control begins. Your mind, your reactions, your will. You don't control the outcome, but you do control how you show up. And that's the essence of Stoicism. Because at its core, this isn't about being cold or detached. It's about learning that real strength comes not from chasing pleasure, but from practicing virtue, from choosing the higher path when things get hard. When we learn to face life with clear eyes, something powerful happens. We stop seeing hardships as enemies and start seeing them as the very forge where resilience is built. This isn't detachment, it's clarity. This is what it means to live in harmony with nature, not fighting what is, but flowing with it. So let's dive in. These 10 Stoic principles have the power to change how you see the world and how you show up in it. Stick around until the end, because sometimes one shift in perspective is all it takes to change your life. Principle 1. Firm purposes. Have you ever tried hiking without a clear trail? It's exhausting. You second-guess every step. You feel lost before you even begin. But with a clear purpose, every climb has meaning. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show a person's character. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in overcoming it." And that's not just a quote to pin on a vision board. That's a daily practice. Think of a great sailor. They don't earn their name in calm seas. They earn it when storms hit. The same goes for you. Your strength isn't shown when life is easy. It's revealed when things fall apart, and you don't. But here's the catch. Purpose doesn't fall into your lap. It's something you build slowly, through reflection. What truly matters to you? What values do you want to live by, not just on good days, but when things get messy? It could be family, integrity, creativity, growth. It doesn't matter what the answer is. What matters is that you have one. Once your purpose is clear, protect it, nurture it, because life will test it. Distractions will tempt you, failures will discourage you, but a firm purpose is a compass. It keeps you grounded when everything else feels uncertain. Think of it like a lighthouse. It doesn't stop the storm, but it guides you through it. Principle 2. Would you hand over your mind to a stranger? Let's say you're walking down the street and a total stranger asks to borrow your body for the day. Sounds ridiculous, right? But every time we let someone else's words define our emotions, we're doing the mental version of that. We hand them the keys to our peace. When someone criticizes you, insults you, or judges you unfairly, you have every right to feel something. But Stoicism teaches us, you also have the power to decide what happens next. Your feelings are real, but your reaction, that's your responsibility. And this power can be practiced. Start small. Set one small goal every morning. Follow through. Learn what triggers your frustration and pause before reacting. Like training a muscle, self-control gets stronger with repetition. Let's take an everyday example. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first instinct might be anger, maybe even yelling. But what if instead you smiled, turned up the music, and kept your peace? That's not weakness, that's mastery. Or when someone mocks your ideas in a meeting, instead of snapping back, what if you took a breath, considered their view, and responded with confidence instead of defensiveness? That's emotional ownership. And it's the beginning of a life that isn't ruled by outside voices. Because when you stop handing your mind over to strangers, you reclaim your most powerful tool, your own perspective. You choose what shakes you. As you begin to recognize your power, the power to choose how you respond, something remarkable happens. You stop being tossed around by every careless word or judgment. You start becoming grounded, centered, unshakable. Think of a baker. Every day, she rises early, preps the ingredients, perfects the dough, shapes each loaf by hand. She doesn't scroll through comments or dwell on who praised or criticized her yesterday. She's not working for applause. She's working for mastery. And that's what Stoicism is about. Staying focused on what matters. Showing up every day. Not because the world approves, but because you've made a choice to grow regardless. Eventually, the baker finds something deeper than skill. She finds peace, not the kind that depends on silence or comfort, but the kind that stands tall in the noise. That's the kind of peace Stoicism offers, because this philosophy isn't some dusty relic of the past. It's a compass for modern life. It shows us how to navigate chaos by managing our minds and mastering our emotions. In doing so, we don't escape the world. We simply stop letting it control us. People will talk. They'll misunderstand you. They'll judge without knowing the full picture. Resilience is a choice, not a reaction. Let's get one thing straight. Strength doesn't mean avoiding pain or conflict. It means knowing how to transform those experiences into something that fuels you. Because every challenge, every uncomfortable, soul-shaking moment is carrying something beneath it, a lesson, a chance, an invitation to grow. But that's only true if you choose to meet it that way. And more often than not, the real battle isn't external, it's internal. Fear and shame. These aren't just emotions. They're the silent forces that shape our decisions. They're the reason we stay quiet when we want to speak. The reason we say yes when we mean no. The reason we post something online, not because we believe in it, but because we want to be liked. So the real question is this: how do we stop fear and shame from running the show? Principle 3. If someone speaks ill of you, here's the hard truth. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to agree with your choices, your values, or your vision. Epictetus knew this well. He said, "We cannot control the actions or opinions of others. We can only control how we respond." In today's world, this truth matters more than ever. We live in a time of constant feedback, comments, DMS, reviews, passive-aggressive remarks. And if we're not careful, we start living for approval or shrinking to avoid disapproval. But Stoicism calls us to rise above that, to accept that other people are living by their own rules, their own values, and those won't always align with ours. It echoes the wisdom of Christ. Love your enemies, even when they disagree, even when they try to provoke. But how do you get to a point where those words don't sting? The answer is self-awareness. You have to know why you do what you do, what drives your actions, what values you're standing on. Because when you're anchored in your purpose, the noise just becomes background. But to get there, two virtues are key. Patience, the kind that lets you take a breath instead of fire and back. Gentleness, the strength to maintain connection even when it's hard. History is full of people who lived this out. Think of the saints, the monks, the great philosophers. They were mocked, insulted, even attacked. But they met it all with composure and quiet strength, because they had something no insult could touch: inner certainty. And here's the ripple effect. When you learn to stay calm and grounded, you don't just change your own experience. You start inspiring those around you. People notice. They wonder how you stay so steady. And maybe they start to believe they can too. That's real strength. Not controlling what others say, but being so rooted in who you are that their words can't move you. So here's a question for you. Have you ever responded to criticism with stoic calm instead of anger? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience might be the light someone else needs today. Principle 4, insult and offense. Let's shift the lens, because Epictetus offers us another layer of insight. What troubles us is not events themselves, but the way we think about them. Think about that. It's not the insult itself that hurts. It's what we make it mean. Let's say you're in a meeting. You put forward an idea you're proud of, and someone shoots it down. Your first instinct might be to feel attacked, embarrassed, angry. But what if instead you paused and asked, what can I learn here? Is there truth in this, or just a difference in perspective? That moment of reflection, that's Stoicism in action. Or picture this. A close friend criticizes a personal decision, maybe something vulnerable. Your walls go up. You're tempted to push back. But what if you took a beat and considered that their delivery might have been clumsy, but their intent could still be caring? That's how you turn hurt into wisdom. It's what the Stoics meant by finding light in darkness. It's not about denying the sting, it's about transforming it. Because discomfort is a teacher, if we're willing to listen. So the next time someone offends you, ask yourself, is this a wound or a window? That's the shift. That's the mindset that separates reaction from response and weakness from strength. Principle 5, fear and dishonor. Have you ever felt trapped in a moment where your actions didn't align with your values, but you went through with it anyway, just to be accepted, just to avoid judgment? That's the invisible cage Epictetus warned us about. But here's the twist. He didn't tell us to ignore fear or suppress shame. He told us something more radical. These emotions don't come from what happens to us. They come from how we judge what happens. And that gives us power. Because if we are the ones assigning meaning, we are the ones who can change it. Let's bring this down to earth. You're in a group chat. People start making jokes about something you care about. You want to speak up, but a voice inside whispers, They'll think you're overreacting. Don't be the buzzkill. So you stay silent, and afterward you feel off. That's fear and shame at work, not because of others' actions, but because you've judged approval as more important than alignment. Now imagine this instead. You recognize the fear, you feel the discomfort, but you still speak your truth with calm and clarity. That moment, that's freedom. That's Stoicism in action. Because real happiness, Epictetus said, doesn't come from chasing pleasure or approval. It comes from aligning your actions with your inner truth, the essence of who you are. And that kind of peace, it can't be shaken by opinion. It doesn't flinch in the face of criticism. Fear and dishonor, then, aren't just obstacles. They're signals. They're calling you to live more meaningfully, more courageously. When you answer that call, you're not just healing yourself, you're setting an example for others. You show people that it's possible to live boldly, to rise above internal noise, and to reclaim your worth. Principle 6. Anticipating obstacles. Now that we've learned to face internal battles, Stoicism takes us to the next level. Don't just react to life, prepare for it. This is where proactive strength comes in, where Stoicism stops being theory and starts being a practical toolkit. Epictetus taught that we shouldn't wait for life to hit us. We should train for it, like an athlete prepares for the game before the whistle blows. Let's go back to a real-life image, a marathon runner. She doesn't just hope race day is sunny, she trains in the rain, she runs through cramps. She builds a schedule that leaves room for life's curveballs, family emergencies, bad sleep, injury. So on race day, when the sky breaks open with thunder, she doesn't panic. She's already been there, in her mind. This isn't pessimism, it's mental conditioning. It's building a mindset that doesn't break when things go wrong, because it expected things to go wrong. And that principle applies everywhere. You're preparing for a difficult conversation with your partner. Play out how it might go. Think about what you'll say, how they might react, how you'll stay calm. You're launching a new project at work. Instead of assuming smooth sailing, map out what could go sideways and what your response would be. This practice is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It's not dwelling on doom. It's saying, if the worst happens, I'll be ready. And when you're ready, obstacles become stepping stones. This mindset brings balance. Emotionally, you feel calmer because nothing catches you off guard. Logically, you're sharper because you've already thought 3 steps ahead. That's what Stoicism teaches us. Preparation isn't anxiety, it's confidence. And Epictetus captures it with one line: don't consent to be hurt, and you won't be. Because even in chaos, even in loss, you still have a choice. You can hold your composure, you can hold your peace, and most importantly, you can hold on to who you are. You can't stop that, but you can stop letting it define who you are. So take a breath, and let's explore the next idea. One that goes even deeper than reacting to criticism. This is about freeing your soul from the need for external approval. Principle 7. No one can hurt you. Let's say someone you trust, someone close, suddenly turns on you. They criticize you harshly, question your choices, maybe even your character. It hits hard. Of course it does, because betrayal or judgment from a stranger stings. But from someone you care about. It cuts deeper. Now here's what Stoicism doesn't say. It doesn't say, don't feel hurt. It doesn't say, just be a rock. It says something far more powerful. Feel the wave, but choose how you surf it. That initial emotional surge, completely natural. But what happens next? That's where your power begins. So how do we live this principle? First comes the freedom to choose your response. And that's not metaphorical. It's literal. Every time someone offends you, disrespects you, or misunderstands you, you're standing at a crossroads. One road, react blindly, fire back, let the pain dictate your behavior. The other, pause, breathe, reflect, respond with intention. Stoicism asks us to own that moment, not to deny emotion, but to manage it, like a skilled captain steering through a storm. That pause, that decision, that's where emotional freedom is born. And that's why Epictetus said, don't consent to be hurt, and you won't be hurt. The insult only lands if we accept it. The pain only settles if we let it. When you live from that space, something shifts. Criticism loses its grip. Judgment passes over you like wind over stone. You become the one steering your inner life, no longer tossed by every passing voice. But this principle goes deeper. It's not just about defense. It's also about building strength from within. Second is about seeking inner strength, not from the illusion of being untouchable, but from knowing you can overcome anything. You fall, you get criticized, you get hurt, and still you rise, you reflect, you keep going. This strength doesn't come from pretending nothing hurts. It comes from knowing you're bigger than whatever does. In Christian tradition, this resilience often comes through faith and prayer, a connection to something higher that anchors us in storms. It's that same idea in Stoicism, finding an internal source of peace that no external event can shake. And then there's the third step, forgiveness. Not the kind that says, what they did was okay, but the kind that says, I won't carry this with me anymore. Because forgiveness doesn't just free the other person, it frees you. It lightens your load. It reopens the door to healing, to connection, to growth. This isn't weakness. This is strength, the kind of strength that chooses peace, even when anger feels easier. And when you start applying this mindset, not just in major conflicts, but in little daily moments, you start tasting real freedom. Inner peace isn't a one-time destination. It's a habit, a choice, a way of walking through the world. Principle 8, repressing your actions. Let's shift gears and talk about something we all wrestle with, impulse. We like to think we're rational creatures, but truthfully, most of us are constantly reacting to emotion in real time, without realizing it. Someone cuts us off in traffic and we snap. A co-worker disagrees with us and we get defensive. A comment online rubs us the wrong way, and suddenly we're in a full-blown argument in the comments section. Here's where Epictetus gives us a game-changing tool. Self-restraint. Not repression, not suppression, just control. A moment of space between the emotion and the action. Let's ground this in a real-world scenario. You're in a team meeting. You pitch an idea you've worked hard on, and a colleague cuts in, tears it down, even adds a personal jab. You feel the heat rise. Your first instinct? Snap back, defend yourself. But then you pause. You remember, this is the test. This is the moment to choose clarity over impulse. So you take a breath, and instead of reacting emotionally, you respond thoughtfully. You ask for clarification. You explore their concern. You stay respectful, even if they're not. What you've just done isn't just mature. It's powerful. Because while they acted out of impulse, you acted out of principle. And this kind of response pays off everywhere. In relationships, where restraint prevents unnecessary fights. In leadership, where calmness earns respect. In parenting, where self-control models emotional intelligence. In a world where fiery reactions are often mistaken for power, Epictetus flips the script. Real power is the ability to control yourself. Because anyone can explode, anyone can lash out. But to pause, reflect, and respond with reason, that takes discipline. And discipline builds character. So the next time you're on the edge of reacting, remember, power isn't in the reaction, it's in the restraint. And that right there is the difference between being ruled by a... Back to Principle 8, the practice of self-restraint. So, how do we apply the discipline of restraint in everyday life? It comes down to 4 simple steps, but don't confuse simple with easy. Each one is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Step 1, recognize your emotions. Don't push them away or pretend you're above them. Feel them. Anger, sadness, defensiveness. Let them rise. Just don't act yet. Step 2, pause. Take a breath. Literally, count to 5. Step outside if you need to. Give yourself even just 5 seconds of space between emotion and action. Step 3, ask yourself the right question. Is this reaction coming from logic or from pride? Will it help or just make things worse? This is the moment your response becomes conscious. Step 4, act with mindfulness. Choose your words and actions deliberately. Let your next step reflect who you want to be, not just who you are in that moment. When you live like this, restraint stops feeling like suppression and starts feeling like power. You're no longer ruled by impulse. You're living from intention. And that's how you become the strongest version of yourself. Calm, grounded, fully in control, even in chaos. If you're ready to start practicing this kind of discipline, drop a comment below. I'm ready. Let's do this together. Principle 9, the power of acceptance. Now picture this. You're on a long road trip. Everything's going smoothly until you take a wrong turn. You're lost. The panic kicks in. You start blaming yourself. You grip the wheel tighter. You think, how could I mess this up? But then you stop. You breathe. And you remember this principle. Acceptance isn't weakness. It's wisdom. You open the map. You check your GPS. You ask someone for help. And suddenly, you're moving forward again. That's the power of acceptance in action. Not giving up, but choosing to work with reality instead of fighting it. Here are 5 ways to make that mindset your own. 1. Acknowledge your emotions. Feel the fear, frustration, or sadness. Let them move through you. Don't bury them. 2. Understand the situation. Ask, what's in my control? What isn't? Don't waste energy on the unchangeable. 3. Redirect your energy. Take the energy you'd spend resisting and use it to act. Focus on what you can do next. Find the lesson. Every situation teaches you something. A setback, a chance to build resilience, a loss, a moment to reconnect with what really matters. 5. Practice gratitude. Even in difficulty, look for the good. Gratitude brings balance. It keeps you from sinking into bitterness, and it reminds you that life is still beautiful, even in the mess. This principle isn't about letting go of responsibility. It's about letting go of the illusion that you control everything. As Epictetus said, acceptance is the beginning of true strength. It's the first step toward emotional freedom and the beginning of a life lived with clarity, peace, and presence. Principle 10, living according to nature. Now we come to the final principle, one that ties all the others together. Live according to nature. But what does that actually mean? For Epictetus, it meant living in alignment with the world around you and the truth within you. It means accepting that there are limits in life, that you are part of something greater than yourself, that there's a rhythm to existence, and peace comes from moving with it, not against it. Think about a tree. It doesn't try to bloom in winter. It doesn't envy the bird or the river or the mountain. It just stands, grows, lives in its time, in its place, fully itself. We can do the same. Living in harmony with nature doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what you were meant to do, intentionally, honestly, without pretending or performing. This includes nature outside of us, but also the nature within, your temperament, your values, your purpose, your spirit. This principle is about returning to that core, to simplicity, to presence, to a life that isn't dominated by status or ego or the endless chase for more. Because from a Stoic point of view, true happiness isn't found in pleasure or possessions. It's found in living well, in living fully, in honoring who you are and the role you've been given in the vast, ever-unfolding design of life. When we live this way, with integrity, with purpose, with peace, we become unshakable. No storm can pull us from our roots. Closing reflections. Keep walking the path. So here we are. We've walked together through the timeless wisdom of Epictetus, through 10 Stoic principles that aren't just ideas, but anchors in the storm, lighthouses in the fog, tools you can carry with you, wherever life takes you next. This hasn't just been about philosophy. It's been about practice, about transformation. These principles won't make life easier, but they will make you stronger. They'll help you stay calm when the world feels loud. They'll help you show up with grace when your instincts beg for retaliation. They'll help you build a soul that doesn't shatter, no matter how hard life tries to break it. But here's something important to remember. You don't have to do it alone. Self-improvement, real growth, is never a solitary road. So if any of these ideas sparked something in you, if you've struggled to live them out, if you've experienced a win, a breakthrough, even a failure you're learning from, we want to hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What principle hit home for you? Which one challenged you the most? How have you brought Stoicism into your everyday life? Because your story, your real, imperfect, honest story, might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you found value in this journey, please like and share this video. Send it to someone who's walking through something heavy, or someone who just needs a new lens to see their life through. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We're just getting started. There's so much more to explore, reflect on, and grow through together. And as you finish this video, take one last thought with you. Every day is a step. Every moment a chance to pause, to choose, to align. Every act of restraint, every bit of clarity, every quiet no to chaos. It brings you closer to the best version of yourself. And when you grow into that version, you don't just change your life, you start to change the world around you. So let's keep walking, and I'll see you in the next one. Final thoughts. These 10 Stoic principles aren't just ideas, they're practices, lived wisdom. They're not about becoming perfect, they're about becoming present, becoming powerful, not by controlling the world, but by mastering the only thing that was ever truly yours, yourself. So let's start today. Let's live with intention. Let's live in alignment. Let's live according to nature. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this journey resonated with you, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, because we've only just begun exploring the depths of what it means to live well. Remember, every day, every decision, every breath is a chance to come home to who you truly are, you.